So, a small update on Mike's car. Mark got all of the rear tin done. I'm working on headers currently, but it is coming together. All that rear tin was pretty good. It is definitely a tedious process. Up underneath, you can see it's all flat. Did a little something different on the back. Had some Zeus's to hold the rear bumper on. But everything else is pretty much done under here. And I'm just working on the headers. Got this side done, tacked together. I left this back one untacked because it's kind of a pain to get to these back welds on the underside of this. So if I can take this one out, pretty much get to all the ones that are on the back. So this side is done. I'm working on the other side currently. This side's a little more difficult because I gotta match this and the angle it's sitting at to meet the bumper. So it's a little bit of a different process, as I can't just set it and go. It's a whole nother process to line it up and get it sitting right. I don't really have any way to hold this collector, so kind of have to tack and go. But I got all these ones aimed the right way. They're all set in the flange. So yeah, that one is coming along pretty well. Mike's car's getting there. Just have a few things to wrap up. The headers are probably the last big thing we have. Not really waiting for any parts, so that is nice. But yeah, that's a small update on Mike's car. Figured I'd show you guys the craziness that's shipping right now. We got 3 cage kits. This one's an S10 cage kit. That one, I believe, is a F-body cage kit. Actually, that one's the F-body. This one is the foxbody 25.3. That one's a F-body 25.3. And then our welded chassis. That he's from Texas, so he's had a little bit of issues with water freezing, and they had that whole crazy snowstorm going on down there. So probably be shipping this one out. So this is the new car up on the chassis jig. This is the 25.5 welded chassis we're doing. We're using his car instead of our jig car. A few more hours, but we are replacing the floor with a new floor pan. Basically just cutting along the edges and then splicing in new pieces. So I think Gavin's going to get started here pretty soon cutting. He's taping it up so I don't scratch stuff. Using some 3M spark paper so we don't chip this minty paint. Looks really minty in the camera. And then Mark's over here working on the shop car so we can get the shop car off the jig because we need the jig. So kind of an important thing right now because we only have 2 chassis jigs and both need to be used not by the shop car. So let's get in the rear section fit up. Hopefully be able to pull it off maybe tomorrow. Weld this weekend. That'd be ideal.
I think that's doable.
Yeah.
Alright, so we figured we'd show you where to cut the floor out if you're doing one of our 25.5, 25.3, 25.2 chassis kits. Or if you're getting like one of the welded chassis or something. So, yep, this is going to be without a back half. So if you're doing a back half, then you're going to essentially cut the entire bottom out of the car. Other than the frame rails, unless you do a 4-link. So anyway, right now Gavin's just starting on it, but you essentially cut along this back panel here because the number 1 bar essentially butts up to that, almost all the way up to it. So He's just cutting this here first just to get the big portion out, and then we'll come back through and cut the rest of it. And then we just cut all the way along the rockers, and then up to about this point here. This is where it's hard to tell because this still has all the insulation on the flooring, but it's where it comes up right here. We essentially just cut right on that line. That way it's easy to butt a panel up to it, and then just do that all the way across. This car still has the dash structure in it, but you can still see you would just cut pretty much right along this line here, all the way across, and then down that rocker. And after that, as long as you cut through the floor braces and everything that's under the floor, it just essentially just drops out. So that's pretty much all there is to it. We'll go back and cut all the spot welds. So we'll use a spot weld cutter, drill out all the spot welds. That way we can get all that pinched material off, clean the rocker really nice, and then that way we have a nice surface to weld whatever to. Like this car is going to get stock style floors. We're just going to section them in between the floor structure. So this will be the floor structure for that car, and it's just going to go, we'll section pieces into each one of these, and that way it looks kind of like a factory floor just with tubes in it. It's just a whole lot easier than trying to notch the floor out and fit the tubes into it. It's a whole lot easier just to cut the entire floor out, buy a new floor pan, and put new metal in. It's faster, at least for us, to do it that way, and in turn cheaper for customers when it's done like that, or when they want a stock style floor, or we go all out for something like Mike's car and we do tin. Just makes it a little lighter. Alright, so that guy right there, Monsieur Gavin, just finished cutting the floor out, at least the main part of it. So he's got probably another inch or so around the front and stuff, but we're gonna leave that until we get the floor pans, the replacement floor pans, and see how far up they go, how much extra they give us, and then we'll finish trimming the front. On the back, like I said, we got to trim all the way back to this, and then he'll work on getting the rockers cleaned up, but so far so good. Alright, so Gavin got this all cleaned up for the most part. Rockers are all clean. Like I said, we're waiting on the front there until we get the new floor pans. And then we left this lip here for the tunnel because he wants the stock tunnel. He'll leave what we can do of the stock tunnel back in it. So we're gonna we left that there just so we have something to set the tunnel on, and then probably have to trim a little bit more of this bottom out for the #1 bar to sit in there. But other than that, it's pretty much ready to go. So should be fun. So we got most of the back half stuff done now. The all the tubes connecting to the main hoop and the #15 bar are done. And we're working on the little truss bars right now. Got that side almost knocked out. And then I think tomorrow we're gonna pull the body off, and I'm gonna build the roof structure outside of the car. And then finish 2 things left on the back half, which will be tubes going from here to here, and then an X brace. But progress, getting closer.
One step closer, it's almost there.
All right, so we got our body off of the shop car. Just sitting next to it right now. I got the roof structure all built outside of the car because it is way easier. It's doable in the car, but it's just easier outside of the car, and we knew our height parameters, so I just kept everything where we needed it. Got all the gussets done. It's pretty much ready to start welding, other than our X brace back here and our two truss pieces over on the sides. But those aren't needed to start the welding process. I think Matt's planning on coming out here Sunday and starting to finish weld stuff, so that'll be nice. And then I think we got Gavin over here. He's fitting the main hoop in the welded chassis kit car. So this one's getting almost done. He's got it about there, but just taking it slow, taking his time, making sure he gets it right. Just how it goes. Got to take your time sometimes.
So we should be racing like
Yeah.
in a month.
Yeah, racing in a month,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Oh yeah. It's almost there. It's just a little bit of work.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of work. He always says that. Just a little bit of work.
Just a little left.
He said it was just a little bit of work when it was just a floor structure and a main hoop.
Yeah. How many months we got?
So Rocky Mountain Race Week 1.0?
That's pushing it.
We're gonna make it.
3 months till 1.0.
Oof.
Start
Be
ordering.
Yeah.
That'd be real close. September's way more doable.
Just break out the wallet and we'll make it.
Yeah, money will build you a race car.
You gotta add more drama. More drama.
Yeah, down to the last minute.
Yep. Down to the wire all the time.
No testing.
We gotta leave for 1.0 at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it is like 4 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. We're getting it done.
Yeah.
We're still wiring the car.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll sound like fun.
No, but yep. So it's getting there. We've almost got it. Almost got all the chassis stuff done, and then it'll just be mounting tabs and stuff for shocks and tin and all that stuff. I think we're doing probably gonna end up doing carbon on the back half, because with the price of steel right now, carbon's actually about the same price by the time you factor in the labor of the tin. So, oh well, I think that's about it. So, until next time.